Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon again, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. We are going back to that horrible world known as the JRC, but before we do the usual disclaimers, please forgive current call center voice because I literally just got up off of the phones. I'm going to sound like this until about an hour before I go to bed. So, apologies. All right, folks, if you are unfamiliar with the Stop the Shocks campaign or the campaign against the troubled teen industry, you're going to find all the pertinent links right there in the description box. Please, pardon me. Please, in particular, take note of the article written by NeuroClastic, a small non-for-profit started by autistics for autistics. In it, they interviewed over 900 ABA professionals in regards to the JRC's so-called behavior modification program. The Judge Rotenberg Educational Center doesn't want you to read that article so much. They threatened NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit. They did not remove it from the website. NeuroClastic refused, so you know the drill, folks. Please read that article. Share it on all your social media. Also included in there is NeuroClastic's public statement in regards to the defamation lawsuit threat, as well as a link to their GoFundMe. We are crowdfunding just in case the JRC actually ever does see through with their threat, okay? All right, folks, where we left off last time. A comment notes that a literature review discussed in proposed rule states basic findings suggest that relatively intense punishers may be associated with successful long-term outcomes. The comment asserts this demonstrates that aversives are effective and durable. Bullshit! Allergies, you know. No, Karen. To date, no one has ever been able to prove that abuse has a long-term successful outcome. Would you like to know why? Because what you do is abuse. Abuse has those wonderful outcomes of post-traumatic stress disorder. If you had clinical depression beforehand, guess what? Anxiety, extreme paranoia, acute anxiety disorder. That's fun. Is that what you call a successful outcome? No, what they call a successful outcome is that they are now being shown what they want to see. They really don't care what happened in order for them to get to see what they see, as long as they get to see what they want to see. And if anyone dares attack how they got what they want to see, then they're going to attack us, because at the end of the day, folks, it's all about them and not at all about their fucking kids. Okay? Can we put it point blank here? What I saw in that is me, 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 me. Here's the problem, though. When you are to able successfully mask for years, when the character eventually breaks, so do you. This, my friends, is what we call autistic burnout. Being overwhelmed, overexhausted, mentally and emotionally and physically spent. And you get to witness such fun things as skills that you once had previously evaporating into thin air. To the point sometimes you even lose the ability to potty correctly and you have to re-potty train. If you don't have never been humiliated before, being 16 experiencing autistic burnout and having to re-potty train is one of the most humiliating and grounding experiences on planet Earth. That's an outcome of abuse on an autistic. Okay? And here's the other thing. The parents care about what they can see right now. They're so overjoyed at getting their tailor-crafted child that the idea escapes them that eventually those kids are going to grow up. Eventually, the effects of the abuse that they suffered at the JRC is going to catch up with them. And when it does, there's going to be hell to pay. Okay? Us masking, giving you what you want to see, is not success. Because it's fake. It's an act. It's a character that the neurotypical world has forced us to create and graft ourselves into every time we walk out the door so we can fucking function without being stared at like we're circus animals. Okay? It's not something that is meant to be done for long durations of time. When that is forced to happen, and I've been through it, most abuse victims who are neurodivergent have gone through it. So much for your successful outcomes when that PTSD kicks in. So much for your successful outcomes when that anxiety and extreme paranoia come in. Good luck on those long-term successful outcomes when your kid is now reliving his worst trauma and has become a shut-in in his own house because of your actions, because you wanted to see. Because remember, kids, it's not them paying the price for their mistakes and decisions. It's us who have to pay the price. Every time. So, first of all, there is no scientific basis in regards to the comment that this parent is putting out there. It's absolute lies and bullshit. There is no scientific data or research that backs up that violence being inflicting upon a person is associated with long-term successful outcomes. I guess the only way you could say that would be possible. I don't know. Are we talking medieval kings? Is that what we're going with this? You punish the bastard brother, the bastard cuts off your head and takes your throne. Is that what we're talking about here? Because that's the only way it makes any sense. Okay? Intense punishments as a Gen X, I can tell you, do not create long successful outcomes. Just like spanking didn't deter me from doing stupid shit that could have got myself killed as a kid after being spanked for doing the same thing previously. Okay? Why? Because the underlying problem was not addressed. As long as that problem continues to exist, the behavior that stems from it will also continue to exist. Whether it's internalized to the point that it's punishing us both physically and mentally, instead of being outward viewed by the world, or else the outside world can see it, you cannot prove, nor is there any studies, research, or data that is worth anything that's going to back that statement. That is a lie. And a very see-through one. But it says it's long-term successful outcomes. Look at this and see all of our testimonials of lies that survivors have already exposed. And then NSAID backed them up. What they saw in observations while they were doing their PR bullshit. Yeah. There is so much science to prove this lady wrong, it's laughable at this point in time. There is no research and data in regards to long-term good outcomes in regards to the GED because they are literally the only place that use it because every single other place on planet Earth has decreed it the most unethical machine on the planet Earth. We are talking about individual research centers that think nothing about blasting radiation into autistic brains to see if it will change our behavior. And they think what the JRC is doing is unethical. And that's why they refuse to do a study on the GED device in regards to so-called long-term outcomes. Think about that for a second. Let that sit in your brain a moment. Literally yell. Blasting radiation into autistic brains like they're trying to give us some form of irradiated lobotomies are telling you that that device is so unethical that they absolutely refuse to do any form of research on it, whether in regards to successful long-term outcomes, effectiveness, or any of it. I think that should say quite a lot, don't you? Yeah. We're going to close on that, folks. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few we do get do tend to get removed from time to time. So, folks, you know the drill. If you could, please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit the comments. I appreciate your time. And as always, folks, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. I'll see you again in a few minutes. Bye-bye, everyone.